December 1975, a family moved into a house where a 23-year-old heroin addict named Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot and killed his entire family, his parents, 2 brothers, and 2 sisters. He said some voices told him to do it. 1 year later, in 1976, George and Kathy Lutz moved into that same house with their 3 kids. They already knew about the murders. They still moved in because it was dirt cheap. They lasted 28 days before fleeing in terror. They left all their furniture and belongings behind. After they fled, Kathy said she saw something in that house, a massive pig-like creature with red glowing eyes, standing on its hind legs. Ronald DeFeo also mentioned it. He said a pig demon possessed him. Then there's the Red Room, a small, hidden room in the basement that Ronald used as a shrine. The Lutz family said that place felt overwhelmingly evil. And it wasn't just sightings. They were physically attacked, too. George got thrown down the stairs by an invisible force. Kathy was bitten and scratched. Green slime started showing up on door frames and walls. One night, while Kathy was sleeping, she heard a voice say, "Get out." And their daughter, Missy, she was levitated off her bed by an invisible force. Later, they escaped at midnight, wearing only their pajamas. They left everything else behind, and they never returned. Then, a few weeks later, Ed and Lorraine Warren came in. These aren't just any investigators. They are the real-life inspiration for The Conjuring. They are the guardians of the cursed Annabelle doll. They have faced demons that would make your blood run cold. They tried to stay overnight, but they only lasted a few hours. They were forced to leave by the same demonic entity that made the Lutz family flee. They brought their standard equipment: cameras, a tape recorder, holy water, and crucifixes. They brought these because they believed they would act as shields. Lorraine claimed that upon entering the Red Room, she was hit with a wave of evil so strong she nearly collapsed. She described seeing a massive horned demon, often linked to the pig demon they called Jody, standing there. She also claimed the house was built on a gateway to hell, or a portal to the underworld. She said the land that house sits on was cursed long before the house was even built. And she also said the demon was trying to possess the Lutz children to create an army of evil. Ed Warren was physically attacked too, levitated and thrown. Here's what he claimed. While he was investigating the upstairs bedroom, an invisible force lifted him off his feet and threw him against a wall. And then he heard the same voice Kathy heard. "Get out." But Ed said this voice was different, deeper, non-human, commanding. Once they left that house, George started waking up at exactly 3:15 a.m., the exact time Ronald DeFeo killed his family. In later interviews, the Warrens said this was the single most terrifying, intense, and dangerous investigation of their entire career. And they've investigated things like the Annabelle doll, the Perron family, the real Conjuring case, and more. Here's a quote from Ed Warren. Ed said, "Of all the cases we have investigated in our lifetime, this was the most terrifying. It was the most dangerous. The entity here was not a ghost. It was a high-level demon." Also, the subsequent owners of the house reported strange experiences too. Now then, let's be real and debunk all of this. Let's find out what's real and what's fake. First, where did the slime come from? The house was old, poorly ventilated, and it was near water, the Amityville River. In winter, when they were living there, warm indoor air hit the cold walls. That causes condensation. Combine that with existing mold in an old house, and you get a slimy residue on the walls. The smell they described? Foul, rotten, like something died. That matches this perfectly. Second, the voice. Who's that? It's mostly pareidolia. The human brain is wired to find voices in random noise. Here's how it works. When you're doubting something and concentrating on it too much, your brain tries to make sense of the noise. so it just creates a voice itself.
Out of the silence
And they were already scared, so it hit them directly. They couldn't avoid it. For Ed, he was trying to find a voice in a silent, stressful moment. He hears a noise, and his brain turns it into a voice. That's all. Third, the levitation. 2 people claimed they were levitated, Ed and Missy. Missy first. She was a kid. Children often jump on beds. If she jumped high enough in the dark, half asleep, or in a panic situation, the sensation of weightlessness at the peak of the jump could be misinterpreted as levitation. Also, sleep paralysis and hypnagogic hallucinations. Sleep paralysis happens when you wake up, but your body is temporarily paralyzed. This situation causes hypnagogic hallucinations, where people feel like they're floating. Now, what about Ed? Adrenaline. In moments of extreme terror, and they admitted this was the most terrifying case of their career, your body floods with adrenaline. That can allow you to jump higher than normal. Here's what probably happened. Ed heard that Missy was levitated. That scared him. Then something hit him, or he thought something hit him. In panic, he jumped. It felt like levitation. Then he fell because he couldn't balance himself. And one more thing, lack of physical evidence. There were no bruises recorded, no pain in his shoulder, nothing. Ronald clearly murdered his family. His lawyer, William Weber, came up with the ghost idea to try to save him, but the jury didn't buy it. They gave Ronald 6 consecutive life sentences. Then the Lutz family ran out of that house, claiming ghosts. Weber saw an opportunity. He thought, if I can prove this in court, maybe I can get Ronald a new trial. But here's something most people don't know. The Lutz family was in massive debt. They were facing serious financial problems. Buying a house like the Amityville one was a dream for them, but they went into debt just to afford it. So when Weber came knocking with a book deal and a chance to make money, they listened. So he teamed up with them. They met multiple times before the book came out. Weber later admitted, on the record, that they made up half the story together. The pig demon, the levitations, the scratches, Weber said they exaggerated or invented most of it. The Lutz family denied that. But here's the thing. They also tried to sue Weber for breaking their agreement. Not for lying, just for talking. And the Warrens, they built their whole career on that case. Demons sell. If you want a video exposing every or most of the Warrens' investigations and showing how they lied to sell the story, why and how, let me know in the comments.